The count is 0-2 as Trey Padilla looks in. Clanch pitching from the stretch. Here it comes. That's outside in the dirt. Riker's going to take off without a throw. That ball was in the dirt. The Redskin catcher, Joe Bushman, was able to pounce on that and knock it down, but it kicked out just a little too far, and Joe was unable to get that and make a throw down to second. So now with no outs, the leadoff runner has taken second base. The count is 1-2. Here's the pitch, and that's just a bit low and outside to even the count at 2-2. There's a pitch swung on, fouled back to keep the count at 2-2. I'm joined today by my buddy Paul Hancock, who's going to be helping us here on this final home game here at St. John's High School against the rival Round Valley Elks.
And welcome to St. John's on this blustery day.
Well, you know, it wouldn't be baseball without this wind, and I wished I could say that wasn't the case, but that's the case.
It's the case. It's St. John's. It's northern Arizona spring.
Yes. So the pitch, the 2-2 pitch to the batter, Trey Padilla. Here it comes. Good pitch, swung on and missed. That's a first out of the ball game and the first strikeout for Scooter Wilbank. Up to the plate now steps one of my favorite athletes in the White Mountains. Love this kid. Tremendous football player, tremendous basketball player, and the leader of this Round Valley Elks squad. This is Tracy Merrill, number 10. There's a ball hit on a rope to center field. Dion Perry is able to make a tremendous play on a hard-hit ball to center field, and the runner is kept at second. Dion came in on that line drive. The wind held it up, and Dion was able to make an excellent play on that. Great job by number 1, the senior center fielder, Dion Perry.
Yeah, that's a well-hit ball, but the way the wind's blowing in right now, it's going to hold it up a little bit, allowing a little bit of speed to get out there. Dion still almost got over Dion's head. He had to make a little bit of a leaping catch.
Yep, and did a great job. Up to bat now is the cleanup hitter, number 23. This is Noah Dana, and Noah is the third baseman for the Elks. First pitch is a strike. Second pitch, strike 2 on the outside half of the plate. So he's been looking at 2 really good pitches with 2 outs. And he steps in after taking a look down to Coach Merrill.
Well, one thing you know, having done a lot of Clance's games, is he's going to be around the zone the whole day.
There's a ball hit sharply to the second baseman, Kale Stewart, who picks that ball up and fires a shot to first base to get out of the inning. So Round Valley got their leadoff hitter aboard on a walk. He was able to advance to second, but was unable to move from there. And so after the first half inning, the score remains scoreless, 0-0. Due up for the St. John's Redskins, their shortstop, Justice Burt, followed by the center fielder, Dion Perry. Batting in the third position is the second baseman, Kale Stewart. Batting cleanup and playing catcher for the Redskins, Joseph Bushman. The first baseman, Gage Trickey, will bat fifth, followed by the third baseman, Wes Scarborough. Then the left fielder is Dason Spencer. Clarence Wilbank, the pitcher, will bat eighth, and Afton Cox, the right fielder, will bat ninth for the Redskins. We mentioned earlier the pitcher for the Round Valley Elks today is Trey Padilla, and his battery mate today is Chase Chambers, number 20. The sun's out, but the wind is shining. The wind is blowing bright. Sun's shining bright. And Justice Burt is getting ready to step in. Final warm-up pitch is coming. The Redskins are looking to get off to a quick start. One of the top players in the 2A East is the shortstop for the Redskins, Justice Burt. He is in the mix at being in the top of every category on Max Preps. He is one of the conference's leading stealers. He is one of the conference's best batting average. He is one of the top in the division in runs scored, and he is the unquestioned leader of this Redskins baseball club. So excited to see what kind of game he'll have today. Justice, if you don't already know by watching these ball games, is a baseball player. He loves the game. He studies the game. He really, really, really would like to play at the next level, and I am certain that he has every bit of intention to play at the next level. Here's the first pitch. That ball's in the dirt, easy to look off of for Justice. So he stands in looking back at Coach Davis. Coach Davis is like, there's nobody on. You're my leadoff hitter. Get up there and hit the ball. And so here comes the second pitch. And it is hit high in the air on the infield. Those are tough plays in this wind, but the shortstop for the Elks is able to come in and make the play. That player is number 11. That's Ridge Knight, who is able to come in here and make a play. So next up for the Redskins is the center fielder, Dion Perry. Dion's a senior, one of my favorite athletes in St. John's High School. Very, very confident player and a very aggressive player. So I look for Dion to put the ball in play, which he does. He hits it up the middle past the second baseman for a C&I single to start the Redskins hitting today. Dion started off slow, and he has really caught on fire as the season has progressed, and Dion's able to start the game off with a C&I single past the second baseman out to center field. So next up for the Redskins is the big boy, number 11, Kale Stewart. Kale Stewart is quite the three-sport athlete, and he is quite the baseball player. If you've not had the opportunity to watch him play, he really can put the barrel of the bat on the ball. He has caught on fire over the last 3 or 4 games and is really hitting the balls on the screws. Changed his batting stance just a little bit with that open stance to keep that shoulder down. They have Dion picked off. The ball has got past the shortstop. Dion continues to third and is in there safe. I like Dion's aggressiveness, but at the end of the day, with Kale Stewart in the batter's box and only one out, I would prefer seeing him let Kale hit the ball and drive him in. So Dion moved from first to third and made it a whole lot easier on Mr. Stewart to be able to pick up an RBI here. And so Kale Stewart looks in. Here's the pitch, and it's fouled to the backstop for strike one. When Dion stepped to the plate, I said he's a very confident, very aggressive player, and what you saw there was a whole lot of aggressiveness. And Dion's just like, let's make something happen. I dare you to throw a strike and get me out, and that's what happened, and they were unable to, and he was able to really, really move to third, and because of that, he's able to score on a ball hit to the shortstop. The shortstop throws the ball into the ground, and Tracy Merrill, the first baseman, is unable to come up with it. So the Redskins have gotten on the board here in the bottom of the first. Dion's able to score a manufactured run. That's what we like to call it, Dion, a manufactured run. Dion manufactured that thing from first to third and then was able to score on a infield grounder. So next up is the cleanup hitter, Joe Buschmann. Joe Bushman is a three-sport athlete, just tremendous. There's a ball inside, as Coach Davis is proud to say. He likes those players to wear it. I think that pitch hit Joe Bushman, but the umpire said, no, you don't get to take your base. I don't even know what that's all about. Coach Davis just looks down and shakes his head a bit. Here's the next pitch. Joe swings and misses for strike one. I'm still shaking my head because I'm still not sure exactly what happened. That ball was pitched inside. Joe moved to make sure that thing didn't hit him on the front side of his body and was unable to take first base. Here's the pitch. Joe drives that thing high in the air, but that's going to curve foul and out of play. So now the count is 1-2 on our catcher, Joseph Bushman. Joe is an all-state football player and a captain of the basketball team and the catcher for this Redskin baseball team. He is going to be sorely missed next year in all three sports. I can tell you that. Just a great young man to get to coach. There's a hard hit ball to the second baseman. He comes up clean with it and is able to make a throw to first base for the out. And Kale Stewart, the second baseman, is able to move from second to third base. And so now that brings up the first baseman, Gage Trickey, with a runner on third base and 2 outs. And Gage has had himself a great year. The last home game that Paul and I called, Gage Trickey was without question the player of the game. He had a couple tremendous defensive stops, and he was able to offensively swing the bat, put the ball in play. Here's the pitch. That ball's in the dirt. Kale Stewart is on his way home. There's not even going to be a throw, and St. John scores the second run of the game. So that was a good way to get up back on the board, and happy about that. And now Gage Trickey is looking at a ball one, a no strike count. Paul, you're back. It's good to see you. I've been worried sick.
I tell you what, man, a fat man should not run. Well, I've learned that basketball's over. Me and the lazy boy have gotten really close to each other.
You've become good friends, huh?
We're best friends.
Nice.
Legs go up.
That's good. Here's the pitch to Gage, the 1-0 pitch. Right down the middle. Gage hits that ball hard. It's a nice can of corn for the shortstop. Makes the throw. He's safe. The throw pulled the first baseman off, and so Gage is able to get to first base on a wide throw from the shortstop. So stepping to the plate for the Redskins is the third baseman, Wes Scarborough, one of my favorite players on this team. Wes really works hard. He is aggressive. When you see him stand up at the plate, he is literally on top of it. At third base, he's charging. He's never waiting for a ball to come to him. Nice stop by the catcher. He's able to bail out there and get that ball and hold that runner at first base.
You know, I like seeing a batter being aggressive, crowding the play, daring you to throw that ball over and bringing it inside. It's always fun.
There's another pitch low and outside, and that's kind of what he's doing, Paul. Because Wes is standing so close to the plate, instead of the pitcher coming inside and pushing him off the plate, he's trying to hit that outside corner and missing on the outside.
And then going outside is going to allow Wes to extend those long arms of his and drive it.
Absolutely.
You know, it's funny, the other night I was doing a softball game, and a little left-handed batter was right there crowding the plate. She's on the line, leaning in, and some mother behind me is screaming that her torso is over the plate. I've read the rule book once.
Yeah, no torso over the plate rule.
There's no torso over the plate rule as long as your feet are in the batter's box. Now, if she was hit while the ball was over the plate,
yes,
it could be a strike.
Yes.
So, but other than that, it was just entertaining to hear that rule being explained to me.
Isn't it always fun to hear rules being explained to the officials during the game? As a coach, I try and never explain the rules. However, I will from time to time just remind them of certain rules, you know.
Well, yeah, there's point of emphasis and certain things that maybe we're not looking for today that you might be seeing. It's okay. Just come talk to us.
Absolutely.
In a respectful manner, and we'll deal with it. We'll handle it. That's what we're there for. We're there for the kids.
So Wes has taken a couple of balls outside that have gotten in the dirt, and what Gage Trickey was able to do was go from first to second on a pass ball and then from second to third on a pass ball. So if Wes can take and put this ball in play and find some open grass somewhere, we're going to score another run. And so I'd love to see a little base knock from Wes Scarborough here. The count 3-1. The pitcher is ready to go. There's the pitch. That's a nice pitch for strike. Wes was looking to get the freebie to first base and not looking to be aggressive there, which is rare for Wes Scarborough. Usually he's looking to put the ball in play. So now we got a full count, 2 outs, runner on third, and here's the pitch. It's across, and that is strike 3, which will end the inning and leave Gage Trickey stranded at third base. So after 1 inning, the Redskins plate 2, and the score is 2-0 St. John's. Round Valley had a short meeting. Coach Troy Merrill visited the mound to talk to his pitcher, and directly after that visit, the pitcher threw 2 darts for strikes and was able to get out of the inning. So my guess is that whatever Coach Merrill said worked, and they were able to get out of that inning.
Yeah, that was a great job by Troy to get out there, calm his pitcher down a little bit. And he threw a great pitch. That was a tough pitch to hit. If Wes puts wood on that or metal on that, it's a dribbler.
Yeah.
And he probably get thrown out at first quite easily. So it's a great pitch. It's a tough pitch to hit.
Yes.
It's borderline strike, so you got to protect at that point.
Well, and the thing is, you throw that ball down and away. Those are tough to hit, and like you said, Paul, even if you do hit them, there's no pop on the ball. It's going to go slowly somewhere, and you're probably going to get put out. When you're a pitcher, that's your favorite pitch to be able to throw, is that low outside fastball. So he was able to do that and get the Elks out of the inning. And so now the Redskins are going to have to bear down and try and protect that 2-run lead. I love the support they showed this freshman pitcher for the Redskins. Clance has been with this team since he was in the 6th grade as a statistician.
Well, I tell you, he's been a member of this team longer than any other player on this team.
Yeah, when Clance was part of this team, the senior group wasn't even on the team yet.
Right.
So.
I think the seniors carry Clance's bags.
And I'm sure they do. Clance is a favorite of the entire Redskin team. They really have his back. They know that this is a tough ask for a freshman to come out here and throw varsity baseball. Clance does a good job. They make sure they try and do everything they can to support him. So now, 2 pitches in to the batter, the count is 1-1. There's a swing. There's a ball hit high in the air. That's to center field. Dion's having to come in hard and drops the ball, and so that's a base hit. I saw Dion look up to look and see if the second baseman's coming. As a center fielder, Paul, I come running in. I'm screaming at the top of my lungs, that's all mine.
Well,
I want it.
Today you're not getting it.
Yeah, well.
And that's what I've seen this week with this wins that we've been having is I've seen dozens of shots like that.
Yeah.
And the
wind just pushes it back.
Second baseman, they've got to go out and get that. They're going to get under it easier than Dion's going to get.
Sure.
Because Dion still has to protect, because you can still get to the fence with a good line drive shot, but that one's tough for Dion to get to. The second baseman, shortstop, they need to go out and get it.
You betcha. Now to the plate is Aaron Rodgers for the Elks. He's the second baseman. That base hit for the Elks was credited to Nico Pena, and Nico standing at 1. So with no outs, again, the Elks are able to get their leadoff hitter on, and Aaron Rodgers stands in looking at the next pitch, which is strike 2 on the outside corner, called by
Ted
Watson.
Good old Ted. Ted's been one of those officials, does 100 different sports, and he's been around for 100 different years.
He's calling a good game today. Here's the thing. We talked about this from the very beginning. Just be consistent. Both ways. Call balls and strikes the same way after the first inning. The batters know. They know what to expect. They come up there and they're ready to go. And Ted's doing a good job at that. Yeah. So that ball's low in the dirt. Great block by Joe Bushman to hold the runner from advancing to bring the count even at 2-2.
And his partner, Terry Jones, is out there in the field. They come from around Chinle area. So
okay.
they've come a long ways to enjoy these 2 baseball games down here.
Excellent. We appreciate them being able to travel and call ball games. We've got the early start today on a Friday, 2 p.m. first pitch. And so those kind of games are tough on officials.
It is. It's tough to get off of work. And today actually was a 1:50 start.
Yeah.
We're busy hustling trying to get set up and get going, so we missed a little bit for you.
That was a great play. That ball was hit sharply to Gage Trickey, who in turn fired it to Justice Burt for the force out at second, and Justice came throwing it back to Kale, but Kale had not gotten to first base yet, and so when it was unable to make the play, that play happened really quickly, and that's a tough play for the second baseman to get to. So now the Elks bring to the plate Ridge Knight.
And we were a little bit off on Clance. He was a 4th grade stat keeper. Grandma Knees.
Did she pipe in and let us know?
She sent a correction, and she is our #1 fan, even though Pacer, who's sitting behind us, thinks he is.
Well, if Pacer was in Utah right now, I would try and at least give him second dibs on being the second best fan.
Yeah, maybe.
Currently, he's sitting right behind us, so there's a bunch of those types of fans. It's one thing to tune in from another state. It's another thing to show up when you're already in St. John. So Pacer has dropped from the second fan to like the 10th, 11th fan.
I mean, a true fan, if he was a true fan, he'd be watching it on his iPad.
Yeah. There's a ball hit, but it's just fouled off. He did a little pool cue shot there, Ridge Knight. Another thing, I was talking to Coach Merrill before the game. This is an exciting time for Coach Merrill because he's only got one senior in the starting lineup. This team is young. They have a lot of potential. They're going to just get better and better and better. I mean, the leadoff hitter for the Elks is a freshman. I spoke of Riker Marble, and I just have so much respect for that kid and how hard he plays every sport he plays. So I don't have what grade some of these Round Valley Elks are. I just know they've got 5 freshmen on this team. They've got, I know Trey is a sophomore. There are a lot of young players on this team, and they're going to be tough to deal with in a couple of years. That ball's high. The throw down to first. Didn't look like Gage was ready to try and make a play on that, and I think Joe Bushman caught him off guard there.
I think so. I was at a middle school track meet yesterday over there in Round Valley, and Kale's in 7th grade, so he's been running track. And I tell you what, Round Valley is loaded for years to come. Their middle school, they have some kids that are fast, lightning fast. It was a pleasure to watch them.
Right there, Clance Wilbank's able to get the strikeout of Ridge Knight, so that's going to bring up Noah Martin, number 22. And Noah's a big kid. He's getting ready to stand in there. I might give him a step or two. There's the pitch. It's a little high and inside for number 22. He looks down, takes his sign from Coach Merrill, and is ready to go. Clance looks to first base, hold the runner on. Here's the pitch. That ball's hit hard right at his coach. Maybe he didn't like what the sign was.
Yeah, maybe. Another foot, and Troy's wearing that one.
Yeah, that was hit hard right into the coach's box at third base. So Wilbank has evened the count at 1-1, and 2 outs. There's the pitch. There's the throw down to second base. It's in time, and they're able to get the runner trying to steal the bag. Great throw from Joe Bushman down to Kale Stewart and throw out the runner. So after a half inning, the Redskins still hold that 2-0 lead.
You know, that was an unintentional pitch out. It was just a high pitch that he was able to get and throw it. It was a perfect pitch to get the runner.
I think, that the runner was going. That was the signal. Unfortunately for the runner, he didn't realize that Clance was able to throw that ball high and outside. So, good news.
We're trying to get Pacer down here to talk about Clance and say hi to his grandma and grandpa.
Pacer's
kind of being a little bit of a coward.
Well, Pacer's not a coward, but what Pacer is he doesn't want to show that his intelligence is a little lacking for baseball right now, being this is his first game here in St. John's to watch his brother play.
Right. Yeah, come on down. Grandma said come on down.
Good, Paul.
Grandma said come on. I mean, if he's really our number one fan.
I'll tell you this much, if Grandma was here, she'd come down.
I got him right here. Neither do I. Make it up as I go.
So this young Round Valley Elks team, I'm very impressed with them. They all look like tremendous athletes. They're working hard. As they get older, this team's going to be tough to beat because they are loaded from the sophomore to the freshman crew.
Yeah.
So up to the plate for the St. John's Redskins is one of my favorite players on this ball club, and that is Dazen Spencer. Dazen's family, many members of the family live in Mississippi, so the fact that Teen Legacy Productions broadcasts these games gives them an opportunity to watch their family play. There's a great swing by Dazen, just missed over the top of that. I am joined now by Pacer Wilbank, who just came set next to me. Pacer, so excited about your baby brother and what he's being able to accomplish with this Redskin team this year. He's just done a tremendous job. It looks like the wind stopped blowing because Pacer sat down next to me, so that's nice. How you doing, buddy?
I'm good. How are you, Rusty?
I am good.
It's good baseball, that's for sure.
It's nice to see a little baseball, right?
Sure.
What do you think of that? What do you think of that brother of yours?
He's all right. He's been working pretty hard. I think a lot of people don't understand how hard he actually works.
I'll tell you, I know for sure how hard he works, and he's been working for many years. You know, you were a football player first. Clance is a baseball player first. You played 3 sports. You were a tremendous wrestler, tremendous football player, and a great baseball player as well. But I would say you were a football player that wrestled and played baseball, and Clance is a baseball player that plays football and plays basketball.
Yeah, I agree. Well,
yeah, and speaking of the devil, now here the older brother sits right behind home plate, and up to the plate steps Scooter Wilbank. Dasen's able to get to first base, and so he'll be looking to try and take that second base with Clance in the batter's box. Clance is ready to go. There's a pitch. It's hit up in the air, and that's going to be out of play, right over our heads. So first pitch swinging for Clance. I like that. That's aggressive. Clance is looking to try and put that ball in play and move the runner.
You know, on that play, I'd like to see Kale be a little bit more aggressive on protecting us with the foul ball. He brought his glove, and he lost that one.
Well, you know, I'm sitting right next to Kale. For the love of all things holy, Kale, I'll need you to catch those fly balls that are going to hit me in the head. There's a throw back to first. Not in time. Dason saw that coming a mile away and was able to get back easily.
So, Pacer, you can say hello to your grandparents. It's okay. It's allowed.
hey, guys.
You know, I mean,
Hello.
like to hear why you think you're number one and they're not. So.
I just know I'm number one.
Oh.
I would take silver very easily. So.
There's a ball that is bunted. That goes past the second baseman. Not sure. Dason stops, slows down. The ball's overthrown, and he's able to get in there halfway between second and third. Dason was unsure if he should continue to go or not, and he just said, to heck with it, I'm going, and then the throw was high into the fence. So now Clance has got a little ribby sitting over there at third base. If he can put a bat on a ball, that's 2 strikes, no balls to him after missing that bunt attempt. So, you haven't been able to watch him live, but you've watched him online. He can get hot. He can hit the ball. There's a ball hit hard. That ball would be over the left fielder's head if it stayed foul, but it just went foul for strike 2.
It's a good aggressive at bat, protecting himself.
Yeah, we've worked on him to get him closer to the bag, to the base. It's been. Yeah, I think he still could use another 4 inches, Pacer, just between you and I. But listen, if he can get to that outside pitch, that's all I care about. I just need him to be able to swing that bat, hit the ball on the outside half of the plate. He's proved that he can do that. He just took a pitch for ball 1. Count is 1-2. And I'd like to see him be aggressive right here. There's a pitch. There's a swing. And that's strike 3. So with 1 out, up to the plate steps one of my favorite kids in St. John's High School, Afton Cox. Afton's looking down at the coach, seeing what he wants to do with the runner standing on third base. They're throwing in the balls that were hit by Scooter Wilbank out of play, and Afton's looking at the signs. Ray points to the runner at third base and says, "Do me a favor, this guy right here, he needs to get home. Whatever you got to do, just do it." So Afton steps in there ready to go. Ball's way outside, calls strike 1. I sound like Bob Euchre there because I said that ball's way outside for strike 1.
Just a bit outside. So now the refraction of the chain link back here, it affects where you see the pitch cross the plate.
Is that what it is?
It's the refraction of the chain link.
Refraction, that's a word I didn't think I'd use today.
I didn't think so either. I mean, it's Shakespeare's birthday. Maybe I should try to use some of his words.
There you go. The ball low and outside, it hits off the shin pad of the catcher, doesn't kick far enough for the runner to advance. So now the count 2-1 on Afton with the captain, Justice Burt, in the on-deck circle. So Justice is looking to get started today. There's a ball hit, foul ball down the first baseline to even the count at 2-2.
Hey, so Pacer, as something that you were one of the first seniors classes that was able to get into our Legacy Teen Center, and we didn't have Legacy Teen Productions at the time, but now that we had, it's been about 6 years, you're getting to become an old man. What has Legacy Teen Productions meant for you that we've been able to accomplish through our Teen Center?
It's been real awesome. I've been up at school in Utah, so I haven't been able to support my alma mater a whole lot, but through Legacy Teen Productions, I'm able to watch from up at college, between tests. So it's been real awesome, especially having a little brother that's coming up in sports, being able to support him. So I really appreciate all that you guys do, and that's coming from the number 1 fan in St. John's.
Number 1. And Pacer's my Trek son, so we're kind of close. And I have a lot of respect for him, appreciate him, enjoyed watching him grow up and doing his games. But now that he's grown, gone to college, and
gotten a little fat.
Gotten a little fat. He's starting to look like his Trek paw a little bit. Doesn't look like his old man much. But so maybe there's some genetics that happened or something. I don't know. But it's good to hear from other people what this is doing for him. I know we have people who watch from all over the country. We have Levi Ashton said hi to you from Idaho. Old Quail.
What a stud.
So we're trying to get Levi to move back home and get the stripes and the umpire gear on here. So
I think he would do good up in the White Mountains.
Yeah, I think so. It'd be fun to see him and his dad work together.
That would be fun. They'd probably get in a fight or two, but I think it would end up all right.
It wouldn't be the first time Quinn got in a fight on the field.
Yeah.
So up to bat for the Redskins is the captain, Justice Burt. First pitch was way inside, bounced off the catcher's mitt, but the runner did not advance. That ball's back to the backstop. Here comes Dason. The pitcher doesn't cover, and the runner scores to tack onto that 2-0 lead, make it 3-0. Now Justice can just concentrate on hitting the baseball. It's 2-0. Justice will be looking for a pitch that he can hit. I can promise you that Justice has the green light from Coach Davis at all times, 2 outs for sure. That ball's hit again in the air, same place it was the first inning when Justice swung, and the shortstop's able to put Justice out for a second straight time. And so after 2 innings, the score, the St. John's Redskins 3 and the Round Valley Elks nothing.
No, it's good to see him get that run. I mean, the guy's on first base with 1 out. You know, you got to get that run in, get the runs on the board while you can. The first time these two teams met, it was 11-7 St. John's. So you know Round Valley can score runs. So you need to get them as often as you can.
And to be honest with you, Paul, that was a close game up until I want to say the 6th inning when St. John's was able to put a bunch of runs on the board.
We're going to go to a quick message from Judge Latham.
Welcome to another Legacy Teen Production broadcast. My name is Judge Mike Latham. We founded Legacy Teen Productions in 2020 as one of the many proactive youth engagement programs that are part of our Legacy Teen Centers. Our goal was to provide high school students with the opportunity to learn about video production, editing, camera operation, and live streaming. Each broadcast is filmed and produced by local high school students and mentors from the Loft Legacy Teen Centers. These broadcasts highlight the athletic skills and talents of our local youth and provide friends and relatives across the world the opportunity to watch our youth compete and perform. These broadcasts would not be possible without the dedication of our Loft mentors, Paul Hancock and Victor Chavez, as well as our amazing volunteers, announcers, and student camera crews. On behalf of Legacy Teen Productions, we hope you enjoy the broadcast.
21 in Arizona and going to number 7 when he's in Minnesota. And then I think Odell Beckham.
And then we're back top of the 3rd inning as Pacer throws the first pitch ball. And Kale and Rusty are discussing Cardinal football players apparently.
Well, that's what we do, Paul. Paul, can we talk about our favorite football team, the Arizona Cardinals, and the tremendous player that Larry Fitzgerald is and how much we love him? Can we talk about that?
He's solid. He's a decent player. He's okay. He's okay. He's missing a little jewelry, though. Well,
back in the batter's box for the Elks is Noah Martin. He was in the batter's box when they were thrown out by when the runner was thrown out by Joe Bushman. By the way, Larry Fitzgerald, if they give jewelry for being a all-star and going to the Pro Bowl, he's got a whole bunch of that. And another piece of jewelry that he'll have soon is when he's a first ballot Hall of Famer, they give you this big Hall of Fame ring. So he'll have that as well, Paul.
He's clearly a Hall of Famer. That's absolutely correct.
Yep, Kale and I have an affinity for Larry Fitzgerald, so we talk about him a lot. There's the pitch from Clarence Wilbank. I love that pitch. I'm thinking if Joe Bushman just stays down there and holds that ball, that's called strike.
But I tell you, a lot of it is the way that the catcher catches it. If they can turn their glove to where it doesn't look like they're going down,
right,
they're more likely to get the lower pitch.
So now up to bat for the Round Valley Elks is Chase Chambers, number 20. A beautiful bunt by Chase. The throw down to first and goes through the glove of Gage Tricky, and the runner is able to advance Martin to second base and is able to get on board at first base with the ball through the glove of Gage Tricky. So now with no outs, the Elks have runners on first and second, and they're back to the top of the order with Riker Marble. I'm not sure that you know this, Pacer, but this kid right here coming to the plate, varsity football player, he's a freshman. Halfway through the basketball season, was brought up to the varsity basketball team, got plenty of playing time, and here he is on the varsity baseball team for the Elks. And he earned my respect this year. That kid can play. He's a tough competitor. So Clance is looking in at a kid he's going to have to look at for 4 straight years. And he was he was successful a little bit. There's a ball hit hard to center field. Dion should be able to make a play on that, and he does, and throws a rocket to third base. If that runner takes that base, if he decides he's going to tag and go, Dion would have had him out by 4 steps. That was P he threw to third base.
But here we are talking about the wind again. That ball was hit on the screws.
On the screws.
It's probably going to get to the fence.
Yep.
And it's about halfway out there. Dion didn't move a whole lot.
No, in fact, I think Dion had to come in a little bit. That thing was hit on the screws. So 1 out, and now the batter is Trey Padilla. And the first pitch is just a bit high. First time through the lineup, Trey struck out swinging. And so Clance is hoping to have that same type of success here. Runners at first and second with 1 out. There's a pitch, there's a swing, and that's way out of play. Over toward the softball field.
So Pacer, what do you think about Levi saying that he's the #1 Legacy Teen Production fan?
I don't think Levi's even entered the conversation yet, has he?
No, here's the deal. Levi, I love you to death. The fact of the matter is the Bishops up in northern California and Carmen Oaks in St. John's, unable to get out into this weather, they got you beat, both of them.
I think there's a little bit of bias on Carmen Oaks, I'm just saying.
Other than the fact she watches every single broadcast.
She does. She's amazing. She watches every broadcast. She makes sure that we're up to date on the scoreboard and making sure that we're keeping up with the score. Carmen, we love you, and we're glad that you're watching.
That was a great play right there. We're talking about fans, and right there the St. John's Redskins made me a fan with a double play. Trey Padilla hits that ball sharply to Kale Stewart, who's able to put a glove on the runner passing by him, throw to first base, and get the Redskins out of that inning without a run scored. So the Elks were able to get their first 2 runners on Pacer, and then the Redskins were able to get the next 2 batters, one to fly out, and then the other Clance enticed them into a little double play action.
Yes, sir. Yeah, Kale Stewart made a heck of a double play right there, made a good choice in tagging the runner, and then went to 1 for the double play.
Really?
We're just starting to get a little fancy now. We're gonna get some guns on these balls, see how fast they're coming in.
Well, that pitch by the freshman Clance Wilbank was up in the high 60s at 68 miles an hour, and the batter drove it to the second baseman, and Kale was able to make an outstanding play. And how many times have you gotten to see this new Redskin Kale Stewart play?
This will be a first for me.
Did you see him play football at all, or basketball?
I had an opportunity to come watch him play their playoff game against some Christian school.
Was it Scottsdale Christian?
Yeah, I think Scottsdale
the
Christian.
quarterfinal game.
Yeah, and Kale Stewart's quite an athlete. We're lucky to have him down here.
I say that every day. Every day I say I'm thankful for the Stewart family to come to St. John's. And the beautiful thing about that, Pacer, that you don't know is Kale came to St. John's, fell in love mostly with his fellow athletes. And they really welcomed him in, and it's been great. Look at this kid standing in right now, Dion Perry. His whole stance has changed. He is so aggressive. He rips that ball hard. This is a tough play. Dion knows. He's out in center field. There's the ball, and the center fielder is able to hang on. I don't even know how.
I don't know. And that's one I think the shortstop just needs to take that. The center fielder ran so far in.
Well, what you see there is the shortstop thinks it's hit on the screws, so he's looking at the center fielder. The center fielder's coming in, think he's got an easy play on it, and the wind just keeps pushing it back. I don't think the shortstop would have had to move 10 steps to catch that ball, and the center fielder had to move about 40 to come in and catch that. So 1 out with Kale Stewart up to plate, and that ball's way outside for ball 1. Kale started out with this really wide stance, Pujols-like stance, and his hip started, he injured his hip in a ball game in Joe City, and changed his batting stance to an open stance where that hip doesn't hurt nearly as much when he steps in and able to drop that shoulder. Since doing that, He's ripped shots off the fence countless times. He has really put the barrel of the bat on the ball and has shown why he's in the third hole. There's a swing that he was looking to put out of here, even with the wind blowing in, for strike one.
That was a big swing. He swung with that one with cruel intentions.
Yes. There's a ball hit just out of play. Kale was going to go grab that thing, and he looked over, and there were like 15 little kids running for that. Kale's like, you know what, I'll conserve my energy on that. I'm not going over there. So here's the pitch. Kale drives that thing hard again, foul deep into right field. Boy, I would have liked to have seen that thing sit down in right field, because Kale would still be running. I can assure you of that.
The way the wind's blowing right now, if he can just get a nice little hook right there to where it just hooks over the base, it'll be in the right field corner and he can run for days.
Yep, there he goes. That's that hook you were talking about. Tough for the right fielder, and that right fielder out there made one heck of a play. I want to say that's number 4, Nico Pena. Nico made a tremendous play on that. He had to go a long way. Wasn't sure if he was going to be able to get there, and was able to get there and make the play. So up to bat for the Redskins is one of the senior leaders and the catcher, Joe Bushman. Joe looks in for a called first strike. That was a great pitch by the Elks. Really nice pitch by Trey Padilla. Low, right down the center, gets ahead in the count. There's a pitch. Joe's able to battle that thing and hit a soft grounder to third base. No one's able to get there, and he's able to get to first base. I'll tell you, 5 years from now, Pacer, that's going to look like a line drive to left field, because it goes down as a base hit single.
Yes, sir. That's a good hustle play by Joe Buschmann. You know, he just turned on the wheels, got the first as fast as he could. You know,
Joe Bushman is the hardest working kid I've ever coached. He is nothing but hustle from start to finish. So now up to the plate steps the first baseman, Gage Trickey. Gage is due for a nice base hit here. Gage his bat's been pretty hot, and I'd like to see him stay hot. Joe Bushman takes the lead. The throw over to first, not in time. He's able to get back.
back easy.
I think you're worried at this point, though. If you're St. John's, the catcher's throwing into the wind. The last throw wasn't that close. I don't know. I think if you're St. John's, you might go for one here.
I agree with you, Paul. They've been able to steal that base. Paul is like the Matrix right there, and Joe Bushman is able to steal that base without near a throw.
I'll tell you, next game I officiate, I'm just going to throw in what happened every play and stay home.
Nice.
Collect my money.
Collect your money. So now Gage has an RBI opportunity here. If he can get a base hit into the outfield, Joe Bushman will score from second. Pitcher looks in, 0-1 on the batter. There's the pitch, and it's a hit to second base. He's going to have to go to one. Gage is quick coming down, but not quick enough, and they're able to throw Gage out at first base to end the inning. That's the first inning the Redskins haven't been able to plate a run. So after 3 innings, the Redskins still lead 3-0. Kale, we were talking earlier about the new NFL rule that states there are new numbers that players can get, single digits for linebackers and defensive backs and wide receivers and all of that, and we were discussing that. There's a bunch of different players, including our own DeAndre Hopkins, that are going to switch numbers, huh?
DeAndre Hopkins said that he's going to pull LeBron James and switch back to number 6, which was his number at
Clemson. Yeah, I think he was number 6 at Clemson.
And another player is Derrick Henry with the Titans. Is just won Offensive Player of the Year.
Yes.
Titans this year.
And he's going to go to 2, isn't he? Isn't that what he wore in at Alabama, right?
Yes.
And then I also had heard that Patrick Peterson, who wore number 7 at LSU when he was an All-American there, is going to leave 21 for all of us Arizona Cardinal fans so that we can remember the great Patrick Peterson as 21. And now that he's a Minnesota Vikings, he's going to go to number 7. One thing that I did hear, Kale, is that if they decide to switch numbers, that they have to buy the NFL stock of their old number. They have to buy that out unless they've been traded, such as the case with Patrick Peterson. So now stepping to the plate for the Round Valley Elks, one of my favorite young men in the White Mountains. I have really grown to love this kid, Tracy Merrill. He is the first baseman. He wears number 10, and he stands in the first hitter here in the top of the 4th. There's a ball hit sharply, just foul. His dad, the coach, Troy Merrill, slaps his hands because that was a tremendous hit. It just missed probably 2 or 3 inches from being fair. And so Trey steps in now, ready to go. I can tell he's comfortable because his hands, he keeps them really loose. No white knuckles for him. He's a confident hitter and looks at ball 1, so he evens the count at 1-1. And Trey looks in. Clance is ready with the pitch. Here it comes. And that ball is high, and for Trey, that's really high because Trey about 6'3", 6'4". So when you throw it over his head, you know you've let that ball go a little early.
Oh, yeah, it was probably about 8 feet up. But
that ball's in the dirt, and Trey has worked the count to 3-1. The last time this happened, Clance battled back and got 2 strikes on the hitter. So let's see if he can't make that happen again. And there's the pitch. That ball is hit sharply up the middle, but in time for Justice Burt to make a play and throw out the runner on a quick throw. The thing with Justice is he was late in attacking that ball, but he has such a quick release from glove to hand to throw that he's able to get the runner there.
Well, and I think this grass must be like really thick or something because the ball seems to die when it hits the infield grass.
I think it's quick, and I'm not certain why we're not charging right out of the gate as soon as that ball's hit. Pacer played with a tremendous shortstop named Jake Zeiler, and Jake used to absolutely charge in on those balls. That pitch by Clance got away from him in this wind and hit the batter, number 23, Noah Dana, who wears it and heads down to first base. Up to bat for the Round Valley Elks is Nico Pena, number 4, who made a tremendous play out in right field that last half inning. So he looks in now with a runner at first, 1 out. And there's the pitch just outside, and Joe Bushman's able to get out there and get it. And the runner had intentions of maybe getting to second base, and Joe put an end to that right away.
I don't think I'd steal base on Joe Bushman. He's got a heck of a gun.
Joe's got a tremendous gun, and he's a great defensive catcher. There's a beautiful pitch by Clance Wilbank for strike 1 on the hitter.
Well, we saw his arm just a couple innings ago where he had the runner try to get second on him, and he just threw him out by a couple of steps.
Oh, yeah. As a coach, that makes you think twice about sending that steal sign.
There's a ball hit to shortstop. Justice was going the other way. He's going to have to eat that ball. What happened there was Justice, the runner was going, and so Justice started towards second base to cover the second base bag, and the hitter on the hit and run was able to hit behind Justice. He had to stop, turn around, go back, and was just unable to make a clean play. That was a tremendous call by Coach Troy Merrill down there on the hit and run. It worked perfectly. Runners at first and second, 1 out. There's a shot back to the pitcher who goes to 1 and gets that first out. Coach Davis comes out a little bit from the dugout and wants to have a teaching moment for Scooter Wilbank with 1 out there, and that ball hit so hard back to the pitcher. If Scooter would have turned and thrown that thing to Justice, that was an easy double play ball. And this is what I love about Coach Davis with his young freshman phenom, Scooter Wilbank. He's going to go out there. He's going to have a conversation with them all. He's going to say, hey, in those situations, take your time. Think about what you're doing here. Let's get the lead runner at third, or let's try and get it back to Justice, who's coming across the second base bag, and we get the double play and get out of there. Clance is still in there. Coach Davis, you played for him for all your high school years, and he is just a great teacher. And that's what he was doing there. He was taking a minute just to give a teachable moment there to Clance Wilbank.
Hey, get ahead.
So now with runners at second and third and 2 outs, here's the pitch. That ball's in the dirt. Joe Bushman blocks that thing hard. The batter is Ridge Knight, and he looks in at that. Scooter needs to just bear down here now and get this batter and get out of this inning. He's done it before. He can do it again. If he just settles down and throws to the hitter, he'll be fine. There's a pitch. And just a bit inside, maybe a little high.
Yeah, right now Scooter's got to bear down, get this runner. Base hit's going to score 1, possibly 2, and cut the lead to 3-2, and you really don't want to get to the on-deck batter. So.
Well, he'll bear down and throw hard. I'm not opposed here to not giving the batter anything to hit, because then you put yourself in a forced play at any base with 2 outs, and the hitter up next is Noah Martin. So Scooter gets the strike call there. The count runs to 3-1. Scooter's not going to give any free passes. He's going to come hard here down the middle. There's a beautiful strike 2 call down the middle. So just like he did in the first inning after giving up 3 pitches to call balls, came back and struck out a hitter. We're going to see if he can't do it here. Full count, the payoff pitch coming. There's the pitch. It's swung on and hit, and the play is not made by Dason Spencer, and they are going to plate 2 runs with that base hit. And now the score, 3-2, and that was a nicely hit ball by Ridge Knight out there over the third baseman, right on the line. Dason Spencer was unable to get it, made a great effort out there, just was unable to come up with the ball. So now stepping to the plate for the Round Valley Elks is Noah Martin with the runner on second base with 2 outs. Sorry. Number 22 is a big young man. I think he could put a charge into the ball if he can get a hold of it. He is batting in the 8th spot, and there's the pitch. I like that pitch, Clance Wilbank. So that ball is just a little inside, but that pitch is almost impossible to hit if we can get that called strike. Just maybe an inch or 2 to the right. There's a pitch. That was what Clance was trying to get to, and that is a foul ball out of play, strike 1. So the count to the hitter, Noah Martin, is 2-1, and Clance looks in to get the sign from his catcher, Joe Bushman. And there's the pitch, and strike 2. That's off the shin of the umpire, and
that's why
those
you wear
hurt.
Those pads. Those don't hurt. You have a pad.
Yeah?
You don't even feel those.
Okay.
Yeah. It's rare. I mean, if it hits your knee, sometimes they'll give it through the pad, but usually your shin guards, you don't feel hardly anything. Trust me.
All right.
I've been hit there enough, and I've worn pads, and then in softball I would not wear pads, and those will hurt.
Yes.
Yeah. My wife quit feeling sorry for me after a while. She's like,
wear pads.
well, you have shin guards, don't you?
Yeah.
I'm like, well, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, wear them. Well, it's softball.
Let me tell you, after playing softball for a long time, softballs can hurt. They can hurt.
They're not very
You
soft,
get
are
hit
they?
by you get hit by a line drive with the softball, they'll hurt you.
Yes, sir.
All right, here is a big pitch for Clance at 2-2. He'd love to get the strikeout here. Ball just a bit outside, and we're going to go full here. Clance is going to have to come up with a great pitch here to get us out of the inning. 3-2 count. He looks in, the payoff pitch. It's on the way. There's the pitch, and he struck out.
Great pitch.
Clance fooled him there.
That was a great pitch.
He didn't know whether to swing, not to swing. By the time he realized that thing was square down the middle, it was too late.
Yeah, it was an excuse me swing at that point. Like,
Yeah.
oops, I forgot to swing this one.
So Clance bear down, get that out. Coach Davis is having that conversation that we talked about earlier, because let me tell you something, Pacer. I played varsity baseball as a freshman. I was scared to death. I literally was scared to death. I played with tremendous athletes, Darrell Lindsay and Leroy Romero, just some really, really good athletes. Dean Overson, I could go on, Bobby Padilla. They were all really great athletes, and I was scared to death the whole time.
Oh, for sure.
Now, so Clance is out there on the mound. I would have never even thought about being out on the mound as a freshman. I couldn't have. I emotionally could not have done that. Clance is out there. He does a great job. But, he's a freshman, so there are going to be times that things happen, and he's going to make decisions, and Coach Davis may not agree with them, and he wants to teach him, because at the end of the day, Clance is going to be a leader on this team for the next 3 years, and Coach Davis is going to help him along the way, and during those teachable moments, he's really going to take Clance, put his arm around him, and have a conversation with him. We're okay. It's 3-2 after 3.5 innings. The Redskins are stepping to the plate to try and add to a 1-run lead, and stepping to the plate is a young man, Pacer. This kid is a stud, right? Wes Scarborough is he's just such a great young man. He's a hard worker. He's super aggressive. He's a baseball player. He knows baseball.
Sure.
And he wrestled for a state championship this year as a junior.
Oh, yeah. Wes Scarborough doesn't look all that big, but trust me, he's
6'4" and about $130.
Hey, right side.
And
right side.
let me tell you something. You look at him, and if you underestimate him, he will absolutely blow you away. There's the pitch. He hits that ball sharply to right field. That's past the right fielder, and Wes is gonna easily stand 3. There's no question about that. Easily, that's that pitch I've been waiting to hit, and the leadoff hitter, Wes Scarborough, is able to sting that ball over the first baseman. It curves away from the right fielder, hits in foul territory, and then kicks all the way to the corner and is able to get to third base. Now, Dayson Spencer can make up for that passed ball to left field that was just tough to get to, but Dayson takes those things personal, and I can promise you right now, he's going to want to get up and score this run from third base. So look at that batting stance in there. He looks aggressive. He's a strong kid. When Dayson stands in the batter's box, unlike most of the hitters, he white knuckles that bat, and the muscles on his arms and forearms just come poking out everywhere, and he looks intimidating.
He's almost like a Pujols.
Yeah, he looks just like, oh my goodness, man. Please, whatever you do, don't hit the ball to me.
Yeah, the ball's even scared of getting hit by him.
Yeah, that is exactly right. So Dayson stands in there. There's a pitch. He swings, pulls his head just a little bit and misses that ball.
he was swinging for the fence though on that swing.
He sure was. I'd like to see him keep his nose in on that one, and he would have driven that thing over the center fielder. There's a pitch way inside.
Yeah, is that refraction again? It's the refraction.
It's the backstop again.
Yeah, you got to wait for those green gloves to come out.
Pepper, Dace. Play Pepper with him, Dason.
There's a pitch, and swung on a miss for strike 3. And so now to the plate steps the freshman, Scooter Wilbank. And Scooter would like to get a hit here and score that run as the pitcher with the ability to win or lose this game.
Yeah,
he'd like to drive this run in, no question.
Yeah, you want to see him help himself right here. Put the bat on the ball. You put the bat on the ball, you're going to get a run.
You're right. There's a ball low called strike 1.
Refraction.
Is that your work for the day, Dad?
That's my Shakespearean work for the day, refraction.
Yes.
Happy birthday, William. You were like the bane of my existence as a freshman in high school.
I'm not a huge fan of William Shakespeare, for
Hey,
being
make him
honest.
stop.
So
My wife is.
there's a pitch down the middle for strike 2. Clance is behind in the count. And Clance gets the ball in the air. This is going to score the run from third base, but boy howdy, those are tough. And he misses it.
drops
Clance is
it.
in. I'm telling you, man, if you're a center fielder in this wind, you just should say a prayer
I
while
tell you.
you're under those balls.
This is the sixth game actually that I've seen this week. You know, having officiated 5 already this week, this wind has played havoc on the outfielders. It's been rough. Infielders are having a tough time getting to it. We had a game the other day. Infielders are playing in, trying to cut the runoff at home.
Right.
And the ball ends up going just beyond, is in softball, just beyond second base.
Right.
Just about where the grass and the dirt meets, but it's not a reasonable effort play, so we can't call an infield fly.
Right.
Ball hits the ground. Everyone's like, why is it not an infield fly? I'm like, ball's on the ground. There's why. No one could get to it.
Right.
You know, so, and that's the kind of wind that we're dealing with today. It's tough. You got to be ready, and you understand the ball's coming one way.
And let me tell you, in this type of weather, and I've told these players this before, if you can just get a bat on the ball, just put the bat on the ball, crazy things happen in weather like this. So Clance is able to put the ball in the air, knock it out to center field. Center fielder's unable to come up with the ball. Runner scores from third, and Clance has been replaced with the pinch runner because he's the pitcher, and Luis Morales is at first base going to second. And how about that? How about that bunt by Afton Cox? An absolutely perfectly executed bunt.
I love a bunt. The bunt's one of the most underutilized plays in high school baseball. You don't see it that much anymore
No.
because everyone wants to hit the ball long.
Hey, right side.
You know, now
Well-
you got a runner in scoring position.
And
You're
not
sitting
only
with one
that,
out.
you've got one out. You just moved the runner into scoring position. You're able to get on first base because it was so perfectly executed. And now you've got your captain, leadoff hitter Justice Bird up, and he's due.
And you flipped the order. So now you went from 8-9 back up on top with one out, 2 on. You like your chances of putting up another run.
I agree with you. I agree with you completely, Paul. I love having runners 8 and 9 on base, and having the first hitter in the lineup, Justice Burt, and they throw over to second base. That ball gets to center field, but the runner had to dive back, so he was unable to advance. In this wind, I'll tell you, you're risking throwing the ball away when you turn and throw it directly into this wind. That wind just pushed that ball right to the ground. Second baseman didn't have a chance of coming up with that.
Yeah, you don't want to throw the ball around much right now because it's going to curve a lot on you. You have less control. So make the fundamental play, make the easy play, and try to get out of this inning.
There's a ball way high and outside. I have restrained myself from saying ball outside until after the call has been made because of the infraction. What is it?
Refraction.
Refraction of
It's an
the chain link.
Yeah.
There's a ball hit sharply, but right at the third baseman. He's
he got
able
the
to get
jet.
there, but he's not going to be able to get there. That runner is safe. The ball was hit to the third baseman with plenty of time for him to make the play, but he turned because he was worried he wasn't going to get there, and the ball wasn't quite inside the glove yet, and he left it laying there on the ground. So now we've got runners at first, second, and third. The bases are juiced, and
ducks on
up
the pond.
steps Dion Perry, who's really put a bat on the ball every time up today. And so he's looking down at Coach Davis. Coach Davis has given him a sign to hit away. And Dion has been very, very successful hitting the ball on the screws today. I'd like to see him drive one to the grass. There's a first pitch swinging. He's aggressive. First pitch swinging, and he takes that ball and fouls it way out of play with the wind blowing. What do you think, 25, 30?
It's got to be around there somewhere.
35, 40.
It's
Who'll
a
give me
60.
50?
It's
50.
a slight breeze. It's a St. John slight breeze.
All right.
Crazy.
Listen, it's a slight breeze, as you can hear in our microphones.
I don't know. If you're on the coast, it'd just be slight ocean breeze coming in.
Yeah. Really, Paul?
Yeah.
I'll tell you what it wouldn't be. It wouldn't be the dirt in my eyes. it would be the smell of ocean. And when I'm laying on a beach next to the ocean, I don't care how hard the wind's blowing. I'm good, man. So Dion steps in 1-1. There's the pitch. He's swinging just over the top of that, so he falls behind in the count, 1-2. You know, these guys are looking to put a charge in that, and they need to remember to keep their head down, because that's the whole key to really ripping shots, is keeping your nose right on the ball. There's a swing. Oh, that is trouble, because that dribbled down the third base line. Probably. It looked like a bunt. Dion swung hard, was able to top that thing. It literally dribbled maybe 10 feet up the third base line. The third baseman and the runner were coming down the line at the same time. There was no play. Third baseman went home, was unable to come up with it. And so now runners on every base, bags are juiced, and up steps none other than the big boy, Kale Stewart.
We like to see this situation, right?
If you're a Redskin fan, you couldn't be happier right now for a couple of reasons. And let me tell you, after watching Redskin baseball all season, runners can't advance. They can't try and steal. There's runners on every base. That's hurt us in the past. Right now, Kale's going to be able to just take his time, wait for a pitch, and do some damage. Not sure what Coach Merrill's talking to the umpire here about, Paul.
I'm not sure. He keeps pointing down to his shoe. I wonder if it's something with the slide at home. I don't know. I mean, the ball was put up high. It put the catcher in a bad position.
Yeah.
You got to slide to the base.
Catcher jumped for it.
So sometimes we have what's called a train wreck. They look ugly. They're bad.
Yeah.
You don't like them.
Right.
But there's nothing illegal about them. So I'm not sure what. But, if you're Troy, you got to come out and you got to try to get an out. And you got to help your kids out and let your kids know that you're willing to fight for them. And
I agree with you.
And Troy's good about that. Troy's a very good coach, and he backs his kids really well. And they love him and they fight for him. He's a great coach.
There's a ball pitched on the outside half. Kale took a absolute monster cut at that. He was trying to clear the bases all here in one swing. I'd like to see Kale be selective. Wait for a pitch he knows he can drive, keep his nose down on that thing. There's a saying that is, watch the ball hit the bat, and I'd like to see him do that. That ball is outside and away for ball one to bring the count even at 1-1. The Redskins have put 2 more runs on the board here in the bottom of the 4th, and Kale Stewart looking to add to that. Here's the pitch. Ball straight back. Something that you may or may not know, when that ball comes directly straight back off the bat, that means your timing is perfect.
Yeah,
you just missed it up or down, and that ball came directly right back at us.
Kelsey's a little under this pitch, but he gets a hold of it.
And now the pitch, 1-2. Kale puts that thing a mile in the air. That's going to be a problem. I'm telling you that right now. I don't care if they catch it or not. We're going to score a run. I don't know what Dion's doing there. He's safe, but he.
I'm waiting for the appeal.
Yeah, I'm thinking to myself here for 1 second.
Let's see if Troy's paying attention.
Now the runner from third did tag and score, so that runner is going to be able to be there. The pitcher at first base stands in. Joe's taking the sign, and I'm looking at the pitcher.
Yeah, all they need to do is call time, and you can.
I'm still looking at the pitcher, waiting for that. He's standing, looking in.
But
there's
Dion,
the pitch.
Dion never tagged on that.
Never tagged. Never. He was halfway. And so the ball gets to the backstop. We're going to score just a spurt from third, and Dion Perry's going to move to third base.
So you don't like seeing that. I mean, the inning should be over. It should be 6-2 right now. I don't know. Maybe they weren't paying attention to the runner at first.
Dion went halfway to second base, realized that he was in no man's land, when the center fielder came up with it. And so what he ended up doing was just going ahead and going. That ball's hitting the gap.
Yeah,
that ball has hit a ton. That might be out of here. Nope, it's off the wall.
Bushman
Joe
at third.
Bushman's able to rip that ball to the fence, score another run with a stand-up double. What a great hit by Joe Bushman.
Yeah, 8-2 now. Big inning for the Redskins. You know, if you're a Redskin fan, you're happy about that. You're excited, you know, to pull it open because this is a pretty good Round Valley team. They can put up a lot of runs. So if you're Redskins, you're happy you're starting to put a little bit of distance between you. You know, Round Valley fan, you'd like to see him come out and at least ask if he left early.
Well,
as an umpire,
my thing is you've got 3 coaches standing on the outside of the dugout, and you know, one of them has to be paying attention to the runners, I would think.
And as an umpire, it's not our job to do.
No,
we used to
absolutely
could.
not.
When I first started, it used to be our responsibility to understand when they did, and we would call it. But it changed, and now coach has to make.
Coach has to make the appeal.
They can do a live ball appeal. They can do a dead ball appeal. The coach can just say, "Hey, Ted, he left first early," and Ted's like, "Yeah, he did." Call him out.
Yep.
You know, or the pitcher, the catcher, ask the question. You don't even have to throw the ball over to the base anymore.
I agree. Here's the pitch to Gage Tricky, and that is a tremendous swing, but he just missed over the top of that, and Gage is falling behind in the count. 0-2 with 2 outs and a runner at second base. I'll tell you, I've watched Gage 2 strikes swinging all season long, and he doesn't change anything. He's still swinging. He's still aggressive. So he'll be swinging here. That ball is outside, and it's in the dirt. The throw, no throw down, and the runner, who is Michael Bushman, the younger brother of the catcher, Joe Bushman, replaced his brother so that Joe could get in and get that gear on so that we don't hold up the game any. Michael's another freshman on this varsity team. We have 2 freshmen, the pitcher Clarence Wilbank and Michael Bushman, and they're going to be quite a duo for a number of years for the St. John's Redskins in football, in basketball, and in baseball. So we'll be watching that pair play for a long time. Here's the pitch to Gage. It's right down the middle. That ball's hitting the air, but it's way out of play. And so Gage is just going to battle and battle and battle. Count is 1-2 to Gage Tricky, the first baseman for the St. John's Redskins.
Too bad we don't have a camera here. We got Kale diving for that ball over there.
You know, Kale's aggressive going after those balls. He's very aggressive.
I mean, the nice thing, he dove for it because he was able to catch it just after it stopped rolling with that dive.
Nice.
It was an
Nice.
impressive. It was an impressive move.
I like to do the hook slide and try and do that. See what I mean about Gage Tricky? He's way behind in the count. He battles pitches off. He doesn't think he can hit hard. And then he drives an absolute shot up the middle for a base hit to score the runner from third base.
Yeah, a great shot up the middle. Made the base umpire, start thinking like he needed to lose a few pounds or else it's going to hit him. Been in that position many times. It's not fun.
And look who's up to the plate now. The leadoff hitter in this inning
We got Gumby up here.
was Wes Scarborough, and he's back, and he's first pitch swinging. The last time up, he was able to hit the ball in, I call it the coffin corner, because you're dead if the ball gets there, right?
That's right.
You're all the way dead. The ball curved all the way over into the right field corner, and Wes was able to get to third base. You know, there's that Ray Davis style baseball. They just turn and take it.
Oh, yeah. Wes
And
is a
Coach
tough
Davis,
kid, too.
well, Coach Davis says to wear it. And what Paul and I say about that is, it's easy for Coach Davis to say that. He's not the one wearing the bruise for the next 2 weeks.
I think that one hit Wes on his spine too. He about folded on that one.
Well, I think Wes is dodging cows on the weekend, so I think baseball is not that big of a deal for him.
No, Wes is a tough kid. And there you go. And by the way, the other day I happened to be visiting the Diamond Sea feed store and watching Wes Scarborough bucking these big three-wire bales like it was no big deal. I can't even pick those things up, and he's throwing them up on the top of a big old huge trailer. And there's another hit, another pitch taken in the thigh by Dason Spencer.
I think Troy's seen enough. He's been having this left-hander warm up the last little bit. I think we're going to have a pitching change come in.
Well, I just get a kick out of Coach Davis and the pride he takes in those hitters coming up, and the ball's inside. They take it, they wear it, and all of a sudden I look down at Coach Davis. He's got a smile on his face.
If they're going to put it in the batter's box, you might as well wear it. It's a free trip.
I never believed in that. I was like, that stuff's going to hurt, man. Let me see if I can't hit the ball. How about that? Yeah. I want to take it in the back.
No, sir. No, sir. I don't like getting hit to this day. I don't know why you do it still.
But Coach Davis has done that for years and years and years. His players all know the gig. My son played for him. I know the gig. And, what's happened with that philosophy is they went from having one runner on to having the bases loaded now. And we're giving your little brother, Clarence Wilbank, a chance to step up with the bases loaded, 2 outs, and he's coming up with a new left-handed pitcher on the mound.
Well, and if Clarence can get a hold of this ball, put it in the play, you're going to get a couple more runs. We're 3 runs away from being up 10 and ending this game in the next inning. So if you're Clarence, you're looking for a hit. If you're Round Valley, you're hoping that we get one more out, and let's try to get some runs in there and extend this game.
I'm looking to see who the pitcher is. It's number 14. This is Sloan for the Elks, and he's throwing in there now, left-hander. As a high school athlete, I played against a Round Valley Elk that was just unbelievable left-handed pitcher. Philip Cordova was his name. That kid could bring it. But the one thing for me, I much rather faced a left-hander than to face a right-hander when I was playing. I always felt more comfortable. I could see the ball coming toward the bat a lot better. I could pick it up quicker, and I was able to make better decisions when a left-handed pitcher was up. So Clance is a baseball player. In Clance's free time, he's watching baseball. In Clance's free time, he's out throwing to a pitching net. I mean, this kid is baseball through and through. So he's going to look at this pitcher. He's looking at him right now. He's watching him. He's paying attention. But, I try and want all of the listeners and all of the people that watch this broadcast later on. This is a freshman. It's nerve-wracking just to be a freshman on a varsity squad, to be a pitcher, to be a starting pitcher, and then to step in the batter's box with a left-handed pitcher. He's new, bases loaded, up 9-2. You're the one on the mound working for the win, and you really want this. So
to make it more nerve-wracking still, there's 2 outs.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you're stepping the plate, bases loaded, 2 outs. You're a freshman. Coach Davis is smiling at Clance, saying, let's go. No pressure. We've got a nice 7-run cushion, but at the end of the day, there's a ton of pressure.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, Clance, here's the thing I know about your little brother. I don't care what happens right here. This is what he's going to remember about this game. 2 outs, bases juiced. He's ready to go. I want to see him get a really nice hit right here. That ball is just on the outside corner for strike 1.
With the left-handed batter, the pitcher, the ball's going to curve back in on the plate. So refraction will help it.
Refractional. That refractional thing's making me crazy today, just so you know.
It's kind of making me dizzy almost.
There's a pass ball through the legs of the catcher, and that's going to play Gage tricky from third base. That ball went right under the glove of the catcher, and so runners were able to advance, which makes Clance take a deep breath now. Now the bases aren't loaded. We're able to get a run across, put a bigger crooked number on the board, and I think Clance can take a deep breath here and just relax a little bit. There's the pitch. He's swinging, nice swing, just missed. So Clance ball's behind in the count, 1-2. That's okay. Gage Tricky fell behind in the count, 1-2 too. And what did he do?
Line drive right up the middle.
Yep.
That's right.
So Clance is ready to go.
You'd like to see him push a line drive to the right side here. See if he can.
That ball is just a little high and outside. Yeah, I'd love to see him push an outside pitch over to the right side and make them have to do something over there with this wind blowing so hard. 2-2 to Clance. That's a good eye as the pitcher looks in. Pitcher looks to third base, comes to a pause. Here comes the pitch. Clance is able to get the ball hit hard, but out of play. Had the right idea there.
That's right. You can see the wind carry that clear over. Probably made the ball travel another 20, 30 feet. What do you think?
I couldn't agree more. I actually think that if the wind wasn't blowing right there, that ball has a chance to get out.
That could have been right on the line.
Yeah, I think that ball has a chance to get out over the fence in right field. So Clance steps in again, 2-2 on the batter, and here's the pitch. That ball's way outside to bring the count full, 3-2. I'll tell you, that was close enough that Coach Oaks is not going to take that pitch.
Oh, it has me sweating over here.
Yeah, that's kind of how I feel now.
It turns out he did call it a strike.
I watched that thing for 5 seconds, and there was no call. Refraction is what Mr. Hancock keeps calling it. I call it other things. I call it outside by 1.5 feet. I call it low in the dirt.
I call it free walk to first.
Yeah. The funny thing is, though, is it doesn't matter what we call it.
It doesn't matter, right, Paul?
It doesn't matter what we call it.
You're right.
It's already been defined by somebody else who gets paid to define it. And we got Ramon over there yelling, "Come on, Paul!" Brutal. Ramon says, yeah, it was clearly on the inside corner.
I'm being told to calm down over here. I've got all of these fans telling me, "Hey, relax." Some of them agreeing with me completely.
So
I know.
So while you're throwing a hissy about that call, we have a pitching change.
A hissy? I haven't heard that since Art Oaks told me that. I think I was like 12, man. Holy cow.
We got Paul Hancock bringing words out of the
So the
dictionary
pitching change for the Redskins is...
Let me see if I can find a Shakespearean word for that one.
Yeah, the pitching change for the Redskins is the big guy, Kale Stewart, taking the mound now, and Clance Wilbank switching positions with him to go to second base. This is a treat for old Coach Oaks because he gets to watch one of his basketball superstars on the mound throwing darts down there, and the Elks are going to need to need to make some noise here to stay in this game. FYI, my least official in the whole state of Arizona had me 9 times. 9! Coach, 19 and 9 of them. All right, there's the first pitch, just a little high to the catcher, Chase Chambers. Kale with the windup, the throw. Oh, that's a beautiful pitch for strike one.
It's interesting how it's a beautiful pitch, depending upon which half of the inning we're watching.
Strike two.
I tell you, it's refraction. You're looking through this chain link, and it's refracting it a little bit. Got to be a little bit more in line with that outside corner to see it clearly.
I'd love to hear you define the word refraction.
I'm personally on the outside corner myself. I'm literally sitting on the outside corner. So here we go with the count, 2-2. Kale's going to rear back and try and get the strike pitch here. And here it comes. That's a little in the dirt, and I'll tell you who loves Clance to pitch. Joe Bushman. Joe Bushman is very confident he can catch Clance. When Kale Stewart throws the ball into the dirt, it could break your foot. There's a pitch just high, and so the first batter for the Round Valley Elks is on with a walk after milking that 3-2 count on a high pitch over the top of the batter. So next up for the Round Valley Elks is Riker Marble. We've spoke at length about Riker, and tremendous athlete. Had a very, very good day so far, and he steps in. He's a left-handed hitter. He's super confident. He doesn't white-knuckle the bat, which I like as a hitter. He takes strike one, wanted to see what Kale had, looked at it, hard first pitch strike right down the middle.
Probably a good choice with a new pitcher. You see a pitch, see exactly what he's bringing.
Yep,
Ready for the next pitch to go.
absolutely. You want to take a look and just see what his move, what mechanics he has, and read how fast that thing's coming before you make a swing on that ball. So now the count is 1-1, and there's the pitch. That ball's hit hard but out of play, and so now the count is 1-2, and Kale Stewart is ahead on the batter. I have a gut feeling that Riker is going to take up a lot of my time over the next 3 years as a coach of an opposing player, as the voice of Redskin baseball. I'm going to speak very highly and quite often about Riker Marble because I just like him as an athlete. I just think he's a go-getter. There's a ball inside. I see Coach Davis hasn't taught them the wear it thing because he bailed on that thing, didn't want to get hit.
I don't blame him. That pitch was coming in
I'm
a little bit hot.
I'm with Riker. I don't want to get hit by those pitches. I'd rather try and hit the baseball.
Especially as a freshman, you still have 4 more years to compete. You don't want to get injured by it.
Yeah. There's a ball pitched hard. That ball's hit high in the air, right over top of us. That could and just bounces about 15 feet behind us. So Kale is got a full count. He's going to need a payoff pitch here to get that first out of the inning. The one thing we want to do is really try and control the Elk hitters. Don't let them get off to a hot start here. There's a ball thrown away to right field. The right fielder, Afton Cox, has to go make a play on that, and that's kind of what I'm talking about. There's no reason to make that throw. You've got a full count. You get the strikeout of the batter. Now you've got 1 out. You've still got a runner at first base.
You have an opportunity to force a double play.
What Kale knew was that the runner was going to be going on movement because it was full, and he thought he could maybe steal an out there, but the throw was in the dirt and was unable to be handled. There's a ball just outside, and so they've worked the walk. Ray's going to go out. Coach Davis is going to go out and have a talk with his pitcher. I have watched over the course of this season, and Kale throws darts. I mean, he throws that ball hot. He's probably bringing that thing in high 70s, low 80s. That one was 77. And the problem is sometimes he throws strikes, and sometimes he has a hard time finding the zone. Once he can get into a rhythm and once he can start finding that strike zone, he really becomes consistent. But getting those first couple of strikeouts and getting his confidence there has been a challenge this year. So Kale is going to look in. I'd like to see him just concentrate on the glove. We've got what looks to be an 8-run lead. Hey, listen, let's just get outs. Let's throw strikes, and let's let the chips fall where they may.
That's right. For Kale, you kind of want to focus on one batter at a time. Get 1 out, get out of the inning as fast as possible.
There's a beautiful pitch for strike 1 on the batter. This is Trey Padilla. Trey's had a nice game. He's been on base today. He has worked hard. He pitched a good first 3 innings. The wheels kind of came off there in the bottom of the 4th. There's a throw to third. That ball goes to left field, and left fielder's unable to make the play on the backup, and the runner is able to score from second base. So, again, like I said before, concentrate on the batter.
That's right.
Stop all this other stuff. We've watched it time and time again. Paul and I have spent probably 5-6 games out here, and this has been a constant theme. We seem to make a couple of bad throws to bases throughout the game, and they're able to advance. So there comes Kale, and he throws a dart to the batter, Trey Padilla, and he's way ahead in the count now, 0-2. What I'd like to see here is just a nice little change-up come in there, something soft, and he'll be way ahead of it. There's the pitch, and there's the change-up for.
A little off speed, caught him off guard.
Caught him off guard. He was out ahead of it. So now we get the one out that we wanted. If we maintain what we had done, we still have 2 runners on. Now steps to the plate. One of my very favorite Round Valley Elks, Tracy Merrill. Love this kid. Think he is just a tremendous athlete. He's got a great attitude. He's got a great personality. I've gained a ton of respect for him over the last 2 years on the basketball court, and I know he loves baseball just as much. There's the pitch high, and we talked about that. When you pitch high to Tracy Merrill, that ball's over my head, way high. And so the count is 1-1. Really looking forward to this kid and his athletics over the next few years. He's only a sophomore. There's a pitch low and outside, called strike. It's good to know the consistency's happening, although
Another case of that
refraction. Yeah. Gosh, I didn't wake up today realizing how often I would use the word refraction.
I don't know if I've ever used it before.
Welcome to physics.
I didn't even know there was such a word. So that was a strikeout on the outside half to Tracy Merrill. And up to the plate steps Noah Dana. And Noah has been successful today as well. Great little player here. Asks for time to get into the box. Wants to look over Kale Stewart. Has a great batting stance. There's the pitch for strike 1.
He's consistently there. It's refraction.
Yes, sir. Yes, he is consistently there.
I think, Kale Stewart, he's warmed up now. He's starting to pitch.
And that's what I was saying. Once he can get a strikeout or two, he really gets confident, and you're going to have a difficult time hitting him. The key is getting that first strikeout, getting that first batter out.
Well, you're getting excited. You're excited. You get to come in here and pitch. You have a big lead because Clarence came out and did a great job. So now you want to come in and you just want to shut it down. And so you got to get past your nerves. You got to relax a little bit. And getting that first out really helps you do it. He's reaching back right now trying to grab a little extra something special for these hitters. If you're Round Valley, you want to maintain your discipline and try to get that runner in from third.
I would have put this game out of Round Valley's reach either. Round Valley is the type of program where if they get rolling, they get rolling. They're hard to stop.
Teams take on the personality of their coaches, and Troy Merrill's one that he's going to be there to the last out.
I just am watching the Lady Elks walk up to the field, and I have a gut feeling that Lady Elks softball club are just tremendous group of young ladies, and I don't know what the score was over there, but we'll try and find out for you. The one thing that I do know is one of the best teams on the mountain are the Lady Softball Elks.
They're a really good team. They work hard. They have some great players, and they travel a lot during the summer and off season to get better.
So there was that refraction, only this time it was called ball outside. So the batter takes his base, and up to the plate steps Nico Pena. Nico has had a couple of great plays in the field, and he's looking to get things going on the base paths. So with 2 outs, the Elks have runners at the corners. Kale Stewart looks in. His first pitch is outside, ball 1. He's got good defense behind him. I'd like to see him throw that ball across the plate and see what happens.
Yeah, just be a little bit like Clarence on this. And, Clarence wasn't afraid of coming across the plate. He kept the ball near the plate, on the plate. Let him hit it and let the defense make plays. That's why they're back there. You practice infield a lot, so you should be able to make these plays.
Absolutely. That was a great pitch by Kale there to even the count at 1-1. And with 2 outs, we really love to get this batter and go in. There's a tough pitch to hit on the outside half for strike 2, and Kale Stewart has gone ahead in the count 1-2. on the batter, Nico Pena. There's the ball in the dirt, and the runner's going to come in from third base. He's flying. That was Riker Marble. You ain't catching him.
No, I got a lot of speed there.
Riker can fly. You're not even, if that ball even gets behind you 5 feet, Riker's scoring.
Yeah, he was.
So
Kale's trying to throw the ball a little too hard right now. He's
That's what I
overthrowing
think.
a little bit, and so he's spiking it into the ground. He's wanting this out really badly, but again, just throw the ball, and it'll take care of itself. It's funny how it works out.
Yep. There's a pitch high. I do agree with you, Paul, completely. Throw the ball in, look at the glove, take your sign from Joe and throw to his glove and give him something to hit.
Yeah.
Let's see what they can do.
Sometimes it's okay to take a little off so that you can get it over the plate and get it in the strike zone.
There's a ball hit high in the air.
You like to see Clance sit underneath
Clance
this.
is underneath it and makes the play, and that ends the inning, but not before the Round Valley Elks are able to score 2 and bring the score to 10-4 with the Redskins coming up in the bottom of the 5th. Kale was able to work through a couple of walks and get an out there like we had asked. Let them hit the ball. You've got good defensive players behind you. Let them make a play. They hit it to the freshman phenom, Scooter Wilbank. You may or may not know him, Pacer,
We
but
hope you're enjoying today's Legacy Team Production
he plays
broadcast.
second base for these
Legacy Team
Redskins,
Productions
and he
is
was
one of
able to
many
camp under
proactive
that
youth
thing.
engagement
Still had to
programs
catch
that
it
are
on
part
his
of our
shoulder
Legacy
because
Teen Centers.
I'm telling you, when
We
you
created
look
the
up
first
at a
Legacy Teen
high,
Center, the Loft in St. John's, Arizona, in 2017, to provide local high school students with a free, safe, positive, fun place where they could gather together outside of school. The Loft has musical instruments, free guitar lessons, computer access with high-speed internet, video games, art supplies, pool tables, ping pong, air hockey, a recording studio with audio editing equipment, video production equipment, a kitchen, cooking classes, and much more. The Loft also hosts dances, parties, summer outdoor hikes, special events, and much more. We are planning to open our second Legacy Teen Center in Round Valley this spring, the Lodge. The goal of the Legacy Teen Centers is to proactively engage with our youth, provide them resources to learn new skills, build a stronger sense of belonging and personal connections, and hopefully spark inspiration and passion in their lives. I wanted to thank Paul Hancock. Welcome to another Legacy Teen Production broadcast. My name is Judge Mike Latham.
it's the left-hander. He's looking to hit the ball. That ball's high
as one of the many
up by his
youth
chin
engagement
for ball
programs
one.
that are part of our Legacy
And,
Teen Centers. Our goal
on
was
deck
to provide high school
is the
students
captain,
with the
Justice
opportunity
Burt,
to learn about video
and
production,
I'm excited about
editing, camera operation, and live streaming. Each broadcast is filmed and produced by
10-run
local
rule.
high school students and mentors.
So
from the
I
Loft
just got
Legacy
word
Teen
that
Centers.
indeed the
These broadcasts
Lady
highlight
Elks
the athletic skills
were
and
able
talents of
to
our local youth
come down to
and
St.
provide
John's
friends and relatives across the world
win a
the
ball
opportunity
game
to watch our
pretty
youth compete and
handily
perform.
here.
These broadcasts would not be
I've
possible
just been
without the dedication
so
of our
impressed
Loft
with the
mentors,
Lady
Paul
Elks
Hancock
softball
and Victor
program and
Chavez,
what they're
as
really
well as our
doing.
amazing volunteers,
This coaching
announcers,
staff
and student
for
camera crews.
the Lady Elks is
On
something
behalf
else.
of Legacy
They
Teen
hit the
Productions,
ball, they
we hope
defend.
you enjoy the broadcast.
It's a really, really fun team to watch.
No, they've got a good tradition there. It's been a very good tradition of success for a lot of years now.
I agree with you. I remember when Logan was playing back in 2013 and I saw them, and by 2015 they were a whole different ball club, and now it's just constant. They are a successful club and they're looking to win a title this year. And that first batter, Afton Cox, was able to work out of a couple of tough pitches and work himself into a walk. And that brings the leadoff hitter I've been bragging about all day. Justice has just not been able to get a hard rip on the ball. He's been under it all 3 times. He's looking to get going here. The runner was leaning, and the throw back to the plate, or throw back to first base, and they called him out. I agree with that call. I saw Afton leaning toward the second base bag, I think with the left-handed hitter. left pacer, with a left-handed pitcher, what happens is when they see you leaning, they're looking right at you. They'll just go over there. It's not the same as a right-handed pitcher. You can't start leaning early when you're facing a left-handed pitcher. So that was a lesson learned from the junior, Afton Cox. He won't make that same mistake again.
I don't think he will. I think that'll be a one-time thing.
Yep, so Justice is looking to get on base. There's the ball hit hard. Again in the air, but anything can happen in this wind. Not the case, though. The center fielder has just done an excellent job for the Elks. And I keep bragging on that kid all day long, but he is tough, man. He is battling this 35 mile an hour, 20 mile an hour gusts. Heck, I think it gusts up to 40, and Riker Marble is able to stay out there and make catch after catch after catch. So that's good. Yeah, that's good. And so now Dion Perry steps to the plate, and it looks like he's ready to go with the left-hander. 2 outs. And Dion swings over the top of that one for strike 1.
That's like a little off-speed pitch that caught Dion off guard a little bit.
Well, Dion's aggressive. First thing first, Dion is he's swinging. If it's close, he's swinging. There he's swinging, and it's not close. So he's just an aggressive hitter. And quite frankly, he's been aggressive all year, and he's been successful, and so that's what we do. I'll tell you, though, the Elks were able to come and really, really do a good job there in the bottom of the 5th. And for the first time all day, the Round Valley Elks were able to get the Redskins in order. And so they go to the top of the 6th, still down 6. But as we know in a Round Valley St. John's game, anything can happen, and there's still a lot of baseball left.
That's right.
Today I'm looking, and it's a typical Redskin. It's a typical Redskin.
I've been on mute. Interesting.
He was on mute the entire time.
Now I'm completely off.
No, I think I know. Give him that one. That one.
So now Kale Stewart's ready to go, and it looks like for the Elks, number 6, Aaron Rodgers, will be the first batter. What needs to happen here is the St. John's Redskins need to concentrate on these hitters, go after the hitters, forget about a runner that gets to first base. They're not going to make or break you. Get the hitter. And so the Redskins come to the middle of the field. They give the knuckles to Kale Stewart, and they are ready to go. And the batter steps in, and Kale looks down. So the first pitch, it's a bit outside, and that is ball 1. Pitch from Kale outside again, fall behind. Refraction.
Yeah, I'm not sure refraction can even help that one. That was a little bit outside.
So we're going to call that strike 1, and the count goes to 1-1. There's a ball that is, I guess that's high. That thing. So the count's 2-1. I am just going to try and call these pitches as the umpire does. So there's a pitch, and that is strike 2 to even the count 2-2. And the batter is going to have to protect the plate now. And there's the pitch. That's far enough outside. He let that thing go. Aaron Rodgers, the second baseman for the Elks. Kale looks in with a 3-2 count. And the payoff pitch is strike 3. It's just a deliberate long wait, and it's hard to tell. I know I used to officiate baseball, basketball, and football, and my favorite thing was being able to call a strikeout. I wanted to that thing every single time. So now the batter for the Elks takes that ball outside, and the batter is Ridge Knight. And he is ready to go. He looks down for a sign from his coach. Coach says hit away, and that's what he is going to do. And there's a pitch. Joe left that there to look, but call is ball 2. And so Kale falls behind in the count. There is strike 1, and so 2-1 on the batter. And Kale trying to get this out and get to the next hitter. There's the pitch, and that ball is just outside to go 3-1. And so he's going to look in, get the sign from Joe Bushman. 3-1 count. There's the pitch. Called strike for full count.
I feel like a good off-speed pitch by Kale.
It was a nice off-speed pitch, and Kale just needed to really get a better pitch. There it is. That ball's hit to the first baseman. Gage Tricky's able to come up with that and easily make the play at first base. So 2 up, 2 down for the Elks. Ridge Knight was able to get a bat on that hotly pitched ball, but you hit it right at the first baseman. That one's tough because he has to take 4 steps and he makes the play. So up to hit now is the pitcher, and Sloan is going to stand in there from the left side, and Kale looks in with 2 outs. And the pitch, and that pitch is right across the inside half of the plate for strike 1. Happy to see that. Kale really buckling down and making a nice pitch there to get ahead of the batter right off the bat. Here's the second pitch. That's a curveball, and that thing curved right in there for strike 2. What a pitch. Right from where we're sitting, Pacer, that ball is able to just cut right across there and cut right across the side of the plate. There's the third pitch. He fouls that thing off. Kale was trying to go 1, 2, 3 strikes. You're out there.
I know. Now Kale's warmed up. He's rolling.
I think he's ready to go. It's nice to see him do that. There's a pitch high. So now Kale has worked even in the count.
I thought he was on mute because it says he's on mute, but he's actually been on the entire time.
All right, we're good then. All right, so there's the pitch. And that pitch is strike 3. And so Kale Stewart's able to come and go 1, 2, 3 against the Elks for a little payback. That's what they did to us. So we gave it right back to them. And now we're going to go to the bottom of the 6th. We've got a couple of more plate appearances, and I can't wait to see if the Redskins can't come out and put some runs on the board. Seems like with the sun getting a little lower and the wind picking up a little more nip in the air, a couple of fans are saying, you know what, I enjoy baseball, but I don't know if I enjoy it that much. Moving. Maybe to their cars, maybe to their homes. I don't know.
Baseball's a little bit more enjoyable from the car sometimes.
I agree with you, Pacer. It is more enjoyable from the car sometimes. But if you're a St. John's Redskins baseball family, then you know that this is just part of what you put up with. You're going to have to put up with this, and we've been doing it our whole lives. So I guess we understand that. I really like this Round Valley Elks pitcher. I like the way he comes off the mound. His ball has a little late movement on it, which is typical for a left-hander. I know a little about left-handed pitchers. You played with Logan, and his ball tailed at the very end of his fastball, and that's what's happening here with Sloan, the pitcher for the Elks. Throw down from the catcher to indicate that the pitcher is warm and we're ready to go, and up steps the big boy, the number 3 hitter for the St. John's Redskins, the pitcher, Kale Stewart. He looks in. He'd like to get a ball about thigh high. He likes it midway across the base, and he'll put it off that 327 sign over the second baseman's head. That's what he does.
He was swinging for that.
He swings for the fence, man. I'll tell you, that kid has quite the swing. Just missed over the top of that pitch. So here he's ready to go. His fingers are loose. He's ready to go. There's the pitch. Ball is a little low. Kale is being very aggressive and takes a pitch he should have probably laid off on for strike 2.
I think he's in fact swinging for 327. You know, he's looking for something to drive out into the outfield, hopefully.
Kale is going to swing for the fence every time. There's a ball hit hard to right field, way over his head. One hops the fence. Kale is going to be standing 2 with that bad hip of his. Ball gets past the second baseman, but Kale, no sense in pushing it. Kale slid into home against Joe City, I believe, and he injured his right hip and jammed it into the home plate. And so he's been battling that injury. It's getting better, but no sense in pushing it there. You've got a 6-run lead. You're the leadoff hitter. You get a stand-up double, and now Joe Bushman steps to the plate. The cleanup hitter. Last time up, Joe Bushman hit it dead straight away center all the way to the fence. So he's looking in here and looking to increase the lead. And the thing I like about Joe Bushman's swing is his nose is right on that ball the whole time.
That's right.
He keeps his head in so well. He is able to take a great cut on that. Just missed underneath that one a little bit. And here's the pitch. I am certain if it's a strike, Joe's swinging, and Joe's making contact. There's the pitch. It's inside. It's to the backstop. Kale's going to easily move from second to third. So now another pass ball, and we're going to plate another run. Joe is now even in the count, 1-1, and he's looking for a pitch he can hit. Joe is not a guy that likes to walk. Joe doesn't even like to get hit by pitch. Joe likes to make contact with the ball and see how far he can drive it. That's why he's the cleanup hitter.
That's right. You know, he's done a good job for us this whole season, cleaning up whoever's left on bases.
There's a base hit to the shortstop. Shortstop's going to have to come up and make a play to first. He does in time, and the run does not score. Or, excuse me, the run scores, but Joe is thrown out at first base. So now up to the plate steps Gage Tricky, and Gage has been on today. He scored a run today, and looking forward to seeing if he can't get the pitcher's number here. There's a pitch way outside for ball 1. Gage looks down. Gage is ready to go. Here comes the pitch, and outside again for ball 2. Gage jumps way up on the pitcher. He's actually sitting 2-1, or excuse me, 2-0, and still looking to see what he can do.
Gage just swings right through that pitch. It's a big swing.
Well, that's okay. I like the aggressiveness. I think being aggressive in the batter's box is a whole lot better than being non-aggressive.
Especially with no strikes. You know, you can take a risk and make a big swing.
Now the count is 3-1. I promise you this. Gage is still looking, and if he can get a pitch he thinks he can hit, he's going to drive that thing to the fence. There's the pitch. That's a pitch he thinks he can hit. He drives it to right field. He's going to have to go a long way, and that ball hits in play right next to the line. There's the throw down to second base, gets past the shortstop, goes to right field.
That will go down as a double.
That is a double. What that was he hit that ball about 150 feet in the air, and it was hit to right center, and the wind pushed that thing so far that it dropped in about 2 feet inside the right field line, and that's a CNI parachute pop fly that finds itself hitting the ground about 2 feet inside the right field line. So now Coach Davis is going to run out and check on his player at second base. Looks like when Gage slid in there, he took the base out of the spike and covered it in dirt. So they're gonna replace that second base bag. Love Wes, always have. Think he's a great player. Wes is an aggressive hitter, Pacer, and so what happens is sometimes Wes is too aggressive, but like we talked about earlier, I'd rather have an aggressive hitter than a non-aggressive hitter, and Wes has been successful today. He's really hit the ball well. That ball would be a called strike on most guys, but at 6'4", that's not a strike for Wes. That ball is low and outside. So runner at second base. We got one out. Wes knows if he can find some grass, he's going to play to run here because we've got a speedy Gage Tricky. He's swinging. That ball is fouled way out of play. And the count goes to 1-1. And Wes steps back in there. I'd like to see Wes get a base hit right here. Make sure that we get that next run across the plate. The sun has gone behind some what look to be rain clouds, and the temperature feels like it's dropped 15-20 degrees in the last 15 minutes. So Wes steps in there. One thing that hasn't dropped is the wind speed. It's still the same.
I think the temperatures have dropped and the wind speeds have gone up.
Yeah, I think
That's
you're
not
right.
real fair.
And so there's the throw back to the second base. You know, when the pitcher stays on the rubber and turns that way, that's actually a balk.
Is it really?
Yeah, he needs to step off of the back of that turn and make that throw, because any movement toward the home plate before you go somewhere else is a balk. So that one's way outside, and Wes has worked the count to 2-2. He is ready to go with a runner in scoring position at second base, and he'll stand in there and he'll be swinging at anything close. Pitcher looks in. Second baseman holding the runner on. The ball's pitched. Wes swings over the top of that. That was outside, but he was going to call that a strike.
That's right.
Wes was going to have to be swinging. So now with two outs, Dason Spencer is stepping to the plate. I'd like to see Dason get a hit here, get that confidence back up to where it was a couple of games ago. Keep his nose down on that baseball and really drive this thing, because Dason's got a ton of power when he can get a hold of one. He's a strong kid, hits the ball hard when he makes contact. There's the pitch. That has been called a strike all day, so that is strike one on the outside half.
Gotta appreciate
0-1.
the consistency.
Is that what we're doing?
We're appreciating the consistency.
I like that pacer. I agree with you, and I actually believe that philosophy very much. I just like consistency, that's all. So here's the pitch, 0-1, outside and high to even the count at 1-1, and Dason looks down at Coach Davis. Coach Davis gives a sign. He steps in. He's ready to go now. I'd like to see him drive this thing between the right fielder and center fielder. There's quite a gap there, and the wind will really play havoc with it. He swings on that outside pitch, but just misses. His head is coming off the ball just a bit, so he'll fix that. He's ready to go. Here's the pitch. Runner goes. That ball is thrown down to third base, unable to come up with it, but the umpire called that strike 3, and so there is no stolen base. The third out is made with a strikeout at home plate. And so after 6, it is 11-4, and the Redskins are going to have to come out here, get 3 outs in the top of the 7th, and we can go home. What do you think of that?
I think it sounds good. It looks like Coach Davis is a little bit confused over on third base. I'm not sure what's going on. Gage Trickey was staying on third for a good 5 minutes.
Well, I think Ray was thinking that maybe the call was an out at third base, but what in reality happened was with 2 outs, it was a strikeout here at home plate.
It looks like we've got a pitching change for the Redskins maybe. We've got number 1, Dion Perry, coming into pitch. Dion's another one of my favorites of the seniors.
I'm going to miss that kid. On the football field, he's a competitor. He played 3 years of basketball, 2 years for me on the varsity level. And then this year, he was a tremendous wrestler the whole time. And this year, he decided he wanted to try his hand his senior year at wrestling. He didn't want to have to look back at his high school career and wonder what if. So he wrestled his way into the state championships and was successful all year long wrestling. Now he's one of the senior leaders on this club, and Coach Davis is going to bring him in to close this game out tonight.
Dion Perry, he's an athlete through and through, too.
Absolutely athlete. Competitor. Now, the thing I like about Dion the most while he warms up, the thing that I really like about him the most is he is a student of the game. He studies. When he's playing football, his knowledge is strong. When he's playing basketball, his knowledge is strong. When he's playing baseball, his knowledge is strong. He's the kind of guy that's going to go home and work at the finer points of each sport that he plays. His football IQ is high, his basketball IQ is high, his wrestling IQ is high, and his baseball IQ is high. So here he goes. First pitch is down just a little bit for ball 1. He is, it's a good place to start for him. He's starting at the bottom of the Elk lineup. He's facing Chase Chambers, and so Dion can get that arm loosened up and get ready to go. And here's the second pitch. That is a great strike pitch right there, so evens the count at 1-1. Dion looks in, and here's the pitch. And that is a great pitch for strike 2. One thing about Dion, I'm looking at him right now, he's filthy dirty. His white uniform is brown, and that's because he's been on the base paths all day. all day. And Dion likes to slide in head first, so he is filthy dirty. And look at that. He comes in, throws 4 pitches, and gets a strikeout with the batter looking. It's called strike 3. Great job by little number 1. So proud of that kid. Happy to see him come on the mound as a senior and be able to finish this game off for the Redskins. That'll be a memory he can carry with him the rest of his life. As he stands in against, I've bragged on this kid all day. I'm not going to brag on him anymore, Pacer. He stands in against Riker Marble, and the center fielder has had himself a ball game today. Dion's first pitch is just low and inside for ball 1. And he is looking to get even in the count here against Riker. And Dion looks in, gets the sign. Here's the pitch. And that's a great pitch right there for called strike 1. Refraction.
That's right. Refraction.
And so here's third pitch of the at-bat. Dion's even 1-1. There's a pitch way outside. That's going to be ball 2. I'll tell you this about Riker Marble. All you got to do is throw it close. He's going to be swinging. He's aggressive. He'll be swinging. He'll want you to make a play on a ball if you're going to get him out. So we've got the 2-1 pitch is hit in the air to the shortstop, Justice Burt, who makes a hard play look easy.
That's right.
Yeah, Justice is in the right position, gets over, makes the quick put out, and Dion is able to entice the little can of corn pop up to the shortstop. And now there are 2 outs. Coach Davis goes to the mound, and he calls in as the last home game.
Got to go through all the seniors.
What just happened was Dion Perry pitched to the first 2 hitters, got them both out, and now Coach Davis is bringing in another senior and one of my favorite kids ever, and I'm going to miss him, and that is Dason Spencer to finish this game off on the mound. Dason is going to go to the mound, take some warm-up pitches. Dion is going to replace him in left. We've got who is that in center field? Number 8, Gage Tricky in center field. Afton Cox in right field. Michael Bushman at second base, and Kale Stewart at first base. So Coach Davis has done some maneuvering around, and I just love this. I love giving all your seniors a chance to get out there and fire some shots. Like I said, it's the last time you're going to face the Round Valley Elks in your high school career. Dion now can say, hey, I went in and I faced 2 batters and I got them both out.
That's right.
And now Dason's coming in to try and do the same thing.
Rusty, I think this Redskins team, they've got a lot of good qualities, but I think the best quality that they have is the hair.
Well, their hair game is strong. Their hair game is strong. It's on point. Let me break it down for you. So Dason, the left fielder, has hair down past his shoulders. It's in a mullet style. It's outstanding. It's thick. It's ready to go. Dion has more of a Patrick Mahomes style hair. It's thick on the top. It goes down in the middle, in the back, short on the sides. Then over in right field, the originator is what I call him. 2 years ago, he was still rocking the mullet. Then he rocked it last year, and now the whole school's falling behind. I can look in the stands right now and pick out 5 dudes with mullets on.
Those kids are junior high, too.
And so Afton Cox with the outstanding mullet. Then at first base, Kale Stewart has the Mahomes. And then the Bushmans, they are atypical military style, good athletic haircuts. At shortstop, Justice has the most beautiful head of hair of all time. It's golden curls, it's long, it's thick, has to keep it under control with the baseball cap. And then surprisingly over there at third base, The Scarboroughs have allowed their son to let his hair grow just a bit. Typically not the Scarborough style, but Wes has worked his tail off all year, so, can I fit in? Can I be like one of the guys? Can I let my hair grow a little longer? So,
I think this is a classic situation of look good, feel good, play good.
I love that. Look good, feel good, play good. You're right. And hey, look at that. Dayson's facing his first hitter. It's 2-1. He threw a hook in there right there. A nice little curveball that caught the outside corner for strike one. And he comes back here, and that ball's just going to be a little low in the dirt to the hitter, Trey Padilla. And Trey looks over. Here's what the Elks need. The Elks need base runners, so he really needs to milk this walk and let Tracy Merrill get up and see if he can't do some damage. There's the pitch. That ball's hit to the freshman second baseman, Michael Bushman. Throws to first, and it's in time. And the St. John's Redskins are able to go 1-2-3 in that seventh inning and finish this game off. And can you imagine? Mike Bushman, the freshman, is put in at second base. And that ball is hit to him. He's got a chance to get the final out of the ball game. And it's not hit hard enough for him to not think. It's hit just hard enough to where he has a lot of time to think. And so he's thinking about that, and then makes a nice throw over to Kale at first base to get that final out. Boy, I'll tell you, I wish Paul was here. He went running off to fix a camera in center field. This has just been a pleasure, and I'd like to thank Judge Mike Latham, who actually came out today and is watching this broadcast. I'd like to thank Victor Chavez, who I've become really good friends with over the years, and it's been so much fun. And, of course, my partner, Paul Hancock, who I'm learning from every day. And it's been an honor to call this Redskins baseball season. I can't thank Teen Legacy Productions enough for what they do in the community and what they're able to bring those fans of the Redskins athletics all over the country. Pacer, you know that better than most.
Yeah, I'm super grateful for this.
I mean, we have listeners in Mississippi. We have listeners in Northern California. We have listeners in Utah. We have listeners in Phoenix, Idaho with Mr. Ashton up there. It's just been a great time. Once again, thank you for watching. Thank you to Teen Legacy and to Judge Mike Latham for making this all happen. And look forward to seeing you again next year. And have a great afternoon. Goodbye, everybody.